Stanford University, home of scholars and championship athletes. Both of these lifestyles require significant time commitments. When school and sports clash, an athlete typically sacrifices sleep for more work time. Combine this with practice times, and student athletes typically have large sleep debts. We set out to get real perspectives on sleep from Stanford student athletes themselves.
I feel like I can't really do anything in the daytime unless I have like a good night's sleep.
Sleep to me means the world.
Sleep is a time when I can recharge the batteries.
I feel like if I don't get enough sleep, I can't perform.
Simply something you do every night to rest and recover.
Sleep means a lot. I really like sleeping, partially because I dream a lot, like really vivid dreams.
Just kind of soothe my life.
I feel like if I don't get a good night's rest, then I immediately have to go back to my dorm and like crash right away and like sleep until I'm satisfied.
If I don't get enough sleep, then I feel very lethargic, can't think straight, can't articulate what I mean to say properly.
Sleep to me is at these times and days everything, because I'm a father of a 10-month-old girl and she doesn't like to sleep very well, and so it's a struggle for me at the moment.
Sleep means going to bed, putting your head on a pillow and closing your eyes and being unresponsive for 8 or 9 hours.
I can definitely tell when I don't have a good night's sleep. I drop balls.
Decrease in my ability to perform at my highest level when I don't get enough sleep.
I stumble more.
It affects my play.
Lose track of what's going on.
I can't hit the ball as far, I can't throw as far, not as fast.
Definitely the better sleep that I get, the more energized I can be throughout practices and games.
Tend to oversleep.
I usually get enough sleep, and so it's not usually that big of an issue.
I feel like the more sleep I get, the better I perform.
If I have so much work that I'm not able to get enough sleep for 2 or 3 days in a row, I'd say that it affects it pretty significantly. I feel almost like I bonk in the middle of practices.
They have such a tough physical workload.
The sleeping time is probably the most important thing that is underestimated in athletics these days.
I think it's especially important for their bodies to recover from a demanding day.
Sleep is actually the time for the body to regenerate and recover between the workouts, and that's the time to let your brain basically regenerate and your body go through REM sleeps. I look at it as a main recovery and regeneration time for your body.
I try to get to bed early, close the blinds, make sure no light gets through.
I normally try to go to bed as early as possible.
The reason why I usually oversleep is because it takes me a while to get to sleep, because I get pretty nervous and restless before competition.
There have been times in the past when I had a hard time sleeping just because I was nervous, but it's been good lately.
The night before a game, I try and get as much sleep as possible.
The day before a competition, I try not to take a nap or anything. That way I'm tired at a reasonable hour, so like probably around 9 or 10 o'clock.
And if the game is early, I try and wake up so I'm not groggy before the game, so I want to wake up at least 2 hours before a game.
The mental status of an athlete the night before competition is very stressful.
I think sometimes if you can load up on sleep earlier in the week, it's not as important to get 8 hours the night before a competition.
So good quality of sleep is very, very important.
This year it was probably 7.2 hours, I would say. On
average, 8 hours.
About 6 to 7 hours a night.
Actually around 8 hours.
8 to 9 hours.
Depends how much work I have. I usually try to get about 8 hours of sleep.
I'm not a sleep doctor, but I would guess about 8 hours per night.
I believe the literature says between 8 to 9 hours a night. I know in the military times 6 hours would be the recommendations in order to prevent injuries such as stress fractures, which are very...
I feel like I do.
No.
Yeah, I do.
With homework and waking up early for morning practice, it's harder to find the time to sleep.
Yeah, usually I do.
So you got to balance school, sleep, and practice. So
I feel like sleeping too much is contrary to performing at your highest, to tell you the truth, because you have to be awake to perform at your highest.
Well, actually, recently I was diagnosed with sleep apnea, so I was given a CPAP machine that I've been on for about a week now. and that I can definitely feel after every night's sleep. I just feel a little more invigorated. So I'm excited to see what's gonna happen over the long term with that. Maybe over a month, I foresee good things.
I don't know.
First of all, a few things. One is decreasing the immune response of not just athletes, of regular people if they're sleep deprived. Studies that show that actually the lifespan of people that sleep less is shorter. So there is a chronic effect on your body and health.
I know that the less I sleep, the more irritable I am. I know the less energy I feel like I have.
More likely to be ill and injured if you're not well rested and not well recovered from the stimuli, which is usually your exercise. Your reactions and your athletic performance is definitely going to be impaired from a lack of sleep, and your coach will know it.
I'm a lot less focused.
I wouldn't know how to diagnose per se a sleep disorder, but I would say she had the hard time sleeping at night, hard time falling asleep. At that time I worked with a volleyball team, and I used to take them through something called progressive relaxation, which is you go through each body part and doing a contract and relax. What I did with her, I actually recorded her, my routine of how I lead the athlete through progressive relaxation, and she would do it before she goes to bed.
I had a teammate who used to always act out his dreams and speak in his sleep and things like that. Definitely made for some interesting road trips when we were rooming together, when he would get up in the middle of the night and start screaming at the top of his lungs and freak me out.
Hello there, Torsten again. Just giving you a little insider scoop on the sleep apnea machine. I've had it for about a week now, and you got a couple components here. You have a humidifier, which I gotta replace the water in this, but you put so and so much water in there every night, kind of keep the water a little more humid as it goes into your lungs, so you don't like wake up and you're all dry and stuff. But anyway, you basically just strap this thing on your face like so, and hit the button, and then air starts rushing. Then you can't really talk anymore. But I mean, if I take this off my face, you can hear that. So it's just constant pressure. So you have to breathe through your mouth or your nose the entire night. So anyway, sleep apnea.
Kumusta, Dr. Dement? Pag inaantok ka, delikado.
Hola, Dr. Dement. El sueño es alerta roja.
Kumbay, Dr. Dement. Sonho toho pistrayo.
Hello, Dr. Dement. 嗜睡是红色警报.
Здравствуйте, доктор Демент. Сонливость – это признак опасности.
Bonjour, Dr. Dement. La somnolence est le signe de danger.
Hallo, Dr. Dement. Müdigkeit ist Gefahr.
Ciao, Dr. Dement. Sonnolenza è un pericolo grande.
ישנוניות זו סכנה.